We're going to first go into greater detail about the information that we brought to you yesterday regarding these immunity agreements that we obtained, which not only show that charges involving espionage, record destruction, and so forth were not pursued by the then Obama Justice Department, but also, and I think equally important here, that documents obtained never got into the custody of the Department of Justice. And they were actually trying to avoid the Freedom of Information Act. It was basically hiding the ball at a really significant level. So I think you first have to understand what took place here. So the former Secretary of State's lawyers, who were also her principal deputies, Cheryl Mills and Heather Samuelson, were given immunity from prosecution for anything found on their laptops violating multiple criminal felony sanctions. And the government knew that it was violating potentially multiple felony statutes, and that's why they got immunity from prosecution. It wasn't only that. When they handed the document, the evidence over, the computer over, it was made clear as part of this immunity agreement that, in fact, there would not be the taking of custody of the evidence for the purposes of FOIA, future prosecutions. So this was a well-thought-out, well-detailed arrangement, special treatment. Could you imagine if under the current administration and that was happening, what the reaction would be? But you talk about special treatment. I will tell you, I view this as an unprecedented move of those in the FBI and the Department of Justice under President Obama thwarting justice.
This all comes to light after 3 years of work by the American Center for Law and Justice. 3 years of work. And it was a few months ago where we noticed that part of the materials we received in the FOIA referenced the immunity agreements. And we wanted to see the immunity agreements in full. We got the front page, which is the DOJ letter, and it lays out without detail the statutes that they are getting immunity from. Now, the reason why is because they put that in detail. It means the Espionage Act, the classified documents rules, records and government records. We totaled it. Each one of them could go to jail for 28 years, up to 28 years, if they were fully prosecuted for these crimes. And it is not hard. You don't have to have the intent to be a foreign agent or to be sharing this with an adversary. Yep. You just have to have the information in a way that a foreign adversary could potentially access it. And of course, having it on a private laptop, a private email server, and private email accounts instead of government accounts, that's exactly what the Espionage Act covers. It's very, it's broad in a sense, and that's why
62,000 emails. Yeah.
And these were the ones deleting. They were deleting them.
Not only were they deleting them, knowingly deleting them, so that would be destruction of evidence. By the way, let's look at the pattern of that. Remember in the now historically ancient Bob Mueller report that Peter Strzok's phone was wiped clean and then reissued to somebody else? Same thing with Lisa Page. It's called destruction of evidence. Somebody going to look at that?